Have you ever heard of a creature that can kill a person with just a single touch? That's none other than the electric eel. These creatures are not only formidable predators but also an enormous challenge to anyone who dares to confront them. But why do local people still choose them as hunting targets, and how are they able to subdue such dangerous fish? Let's find out together in this video. Discovering the unique electric eel fishing method of indigenous people deep in the vast Amazon basin, there are indigenous fishing communities who have preserved a truly unique hunting method, catching electric eels. This practice is not only a way to secure valuable food but also an essential part of the cultural and economic life of local tribes. Hunting electric eels is a remarkable art of the Amazonian natives, especially during the dry season, when the mighty Amazon River recedes and reveals muddy pools and deep holes where eels often hide. A typical hunting group consists of 5-7 people, carrying long handmade spears crafted from forest wood or tough bamboo, sharpened to pierce with precision. The process begins by digging trenches around pools where eel tracks are found. Once an eel is located, the hunters thrust their spears into the water, provoking the eel to discharge its powerful electric shock. Each jab gradually weakens the creature. When its strength is nearly drained, the hunters strike decisively at its body or head. Finally, the exhausted eel is dragged ashore, ending a hunt that demands patience, skill, and courage in the heart of the wild Amazon. Catching electric eels is not just a cultural tradition of the Amazon people, it has also become a fascinating ecotourism experience. Visitors have the chance to explore the Amazon in the most authentic way. The journey usually begins on a small boat, navigating through shallow river channels that make it easier to spot electric eels. Unlike the indigenous spear hunting method, tourists often use professional fishing rods and prepared bait. However, electric eels are incredibly fast, requiring patience and high skill to land them. Once hooked, anglers carefully guide the eel into sandy shallows to drag it ashore. Besides small rivers, electric eels also hide in muddy pits deep inside the Amazon forest, where adventurous visitors may try the traditional spear hunting technique themselves, testing their limits in a truly challenging hunt. After the electric eel is hauled onto the boat, the preparation process begins right on the riverbank. With a sharp knife, fishermen carefully cut through the eel's thick, tough skin, which is usually discarded. Then the internal organs are removed with great care to ensure hygiene and keep the meat as fresh as possible. Today, with the rise of modern technology and stricter conservation laws, traditional electric eel hunting has gradually declined. However, in Amazonas, indigenous communities are still legally allowed to practice this age-old method under the supervision of local authorities. And that brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe to stay updated with our latest adventures. Until next time, goodbye, and see you again soon. Can you believe that just 3 small changes inside the pig barn can help your herd grow stronger, gain weight faster, and reduce the risk of disease? It's true. Many large-scale farms have already adopted smart farming techniques that boost herd health, control outbreaks, and improve productivity. Small changes, when done right, can lead to big results. Thanks to these specific strategies, many farms have reported noticeable improvements and a clear boost in economic efficiency compared to traditional methods. Let's dive in and see the difference for yourself. According to a Zinpro Corporation study on 30,000 sows from 300 farms, over 90% suffered from foot injuries, and 40% had severe damage or inflammation. A pig's hoof may seem small, but it plays a crucial role in mobility and overall health. If the hoof cracks, grows unevenly, or becomes too long, it can cause pain, reduce activity, lower appetite, and increase the risk of infection. Proper trimming helps prevent these problems. Farmers should learn how to hold the pig's foot correctly and use specialized knives or clippers to trim excess hoof material. Doing this every 2-3 months keeps the herd healthy and growing evenly. Once grinding is complete, spray a layer of blue-tinted antiseptic on the treated hoof to disinfect and protect it from bacteria, fungi, and other causes of inflammation. This layer not only shields the hoof but also speeds up healing if there are minor scratches from trimming. Ventilation plays a vital role in maintaining healthy air quality inside the barn, a key factor for protecting pigs' respiratory health. A well-designed system constantly brings fresh air in from outside while pushing out contaminated air containing bacteria, dust, harmful gases like ammonia, and excess moisture. This refreshes the environment, reduces pathogen buildup, and keeps the pig's lungs healthy, especially in enclosed or large-scale operations. One of the most advanced solutions today combines high-performance turbofans with adjustable Vancom speed control valves. Turbofans create a strong airflow in short bursts, speeding up air exchange and lowering temperature and humidity in the barn. Meanwhile, Vancom valves adjust fan speed according to real-time needs, saving energy while keeping the environment stable. This combination delivers outstanding efficiency, reducing harmful gases, dust, and humidity while improving seasonal temperature regulation. As a result, pig health improves, disease rates drop, and pigs eat better, grow faster, and more evenly. NutriSow is one of the most advanced automated feeding systems, designed specifically for sows during pregnancy and lactation. It uses smart technology with sensors, remote programming, and automated adjustments. What makes NutriSow special is its ability to deliver the exact amount of feed each sow needs, rather than fixed portions at fixed times, like traditional methods. Using sensors and smart programming, the system monitors each pig's eating habits, feed intake, and health status, then adjusts portions based on its reproductive stage, pregnancy, farrowing, or nursing. This precision helps control feed consumption per pig, cutting costs by 10–15% compared to manual feeding. It not only boosts reproductive performance but also saves labor, reduces costs, and significantly improves piglet quality. The downside? Higher upfront installation costs and the need for technician training at the start. Once raised under strict nutrition, health, and housing control, the pigs undergo final evaluations before sale. Only those meeting strict standards, right weight, good appearance, ideal lean-to-fat ratio, and no signs of illness, are selected for processing. Finally, the meat is packed using modern preservation technology to maintain freshness and food safety during storage and transport. From there, it is distributed to retail chains, supermarkets, clean food stores, and other approved sales channels. From hoof care and environmental control to feeding and final processing, every step in pig farming plays a role in boosting livestock health and maximizing economic efficiency. When done consistently and with proper technique, this model not only delivers sustainable profits but also ensures safe, high-quality products that meet market demand. Believe it or not, this is not a hospital or a high-tech research center, but a pig farm. That's right, you heard right. While most of the world is still familiar with the image of pig pens stretching across the fields, in China, skyscrapers for pigs are springing up more and more. This is not only a space optimization solution, but also a model that integrates high technology, smart management, and aims for sustainable development. Now, let's explore the high-rise pig farming model, a completely new and surprising perspective inside China's vertical farms to see what's so special. In 2022, a Chinese company surprised the world when it opened a 26-story pig farm in Hubei province. With a height equivalent to an apartment building, it is capable of raising up to 650,000 pigs per year, from piglets, sows, to pigs ready for sale. Currently, China is the world's largest pork consumer, accounting for more than 50% of the world's total pork output. However, outbreaks of African swine fever in 2018-2020 have devastated the country's livestock industry, causing more than 200 million pigs to be culled. Faced with huge consumption demand but limited land funds and high disease risks, large companies have decided, no longer expand horizontally, but go vertically. The high-rise livestock farming model not only optimizes the area, but also helps to strictly control the living environment of livestock, reduce the risk of infection, and significantly increase productivity. It can be seen that, inside the building, each floor is a specialized area such as sow and piglet breeding area, gilt and fattening stage breeding area, treatment, isolation or special individuals. Finally, the air, waste and renewable energy treatment system. The entire farm will be equipped with fully automated ventilation, temperature control, feeding, and waste treatment systems. From the outside, it looks no different from a hotel or a high-end office building. But inside, everything is designed to ensure maximum biosecurity, minimize disease, and help pigs grow in a clean, modern environment. In particular, each pig is fitted with an identification chip to monitor its health, growth rate, food rations, and even location in the building. All data is sent to the control center using artificial intelligence, helping managers easily detect problems early and make timely adjustments. No bad smells, no noisy squeals, no muddy barns, everything is clean, closed and operated on a chain. In addition, the access control system is extremely strict. All employees must disinfect, change protective gear and go through many layers of checks before being allowed inside. Separating each area by floor helps prevent the spread of disease. Despite its outstanding economic efficiency, the high-rise farming model is still controversial. Many animal protection organizations believe that raising pigs in a closed environment, lacking natural light and no space to move, can cause stress and affect their natural behavior. In particular, when an incident such as a power outage, fire, or epidemic occurs, the damage can be enormous. So, is this the solution to the global livestock problem? Currently, many other countries are also monitoring and considering applying this model. However, implementation needs to take into account many factors: culture, legal regulations, consumer awareness, and technological conditions. The high-rise pig farming model in China is completely changing the way we think about the livestock industry. It represents technological advancement, design innovation, and a strong response to real-world challenges. However, it also raises many unanswered questions. Where is animal welfare? What is long-term sustainability? And are we sacrificing too much for high productivity? Do you think Japanese people like to eat pork? In fact, according to research, pork is one of the main foods in Japanese cuisine. Therefore, pork farming and processing activities are also very important in Japan. Now, let's explore pork processing plants in Japan to see how they operate. Discover pork processing technology in Japan. Japan has long been famous worldwide for its cuisine and food production processes. Pork processing, with a combination of tradition, modern technology, and strict quality control, has produced high-quality pork products. From the farm to the finished product packaging, everything is automated to ensure clean, safe meat and a distinctive flavor. The Japanese love to eat pork, and the pork processing industry plays an extremely important role in Japan's food economy and culinary culture. According to statistics from the Japanese Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries, pork accounts for about 50% of the annual meat consumption, far exceeding beef and chicken. Thus, on average, each Japanese person consumes about 16 to 20 kilograms of pork per year. the pork processing in Japan begins right at the farm. Most pig farms in Japan are closed-loop, with everything from feed rations, water quality, air quality, and even noise monitored by sensors. Pig breeds raised in Japan such as Kurabuta are famous for their tenderness and rich flavor, and are fed natural feed without the use of antibiotics in the final fattening stage. Each pig has an identification number, and is tracked from birth to sale, ensuring absolute traceability. At modern Japanese pork slaughterhouses such as those in Kagoshima and Ibaraki prefectures, the slaughtering process is almost entirely automated. Robots are programmed to perform precise butchering operations, avoiding stress on the animals, which is an important factor in keeping the meat from becoming discolored and of poor quality. After slaughter, the meat is transferred to the sorting line, cut, washed with sterilized ozone water, and then brought to a cold room that meets food safety standards. All tools and machinery are sterilized after each shift. It is not the slaughtering or grading process, but the pork processing process that is the quintessence of Japanese technology and culinary culture. One of the factors contributing to the pork processing industry in Japan is the high-capacity modern technology machinery. All the machinery at each stage is designed with stainless metal and can be used for many years. The use of machinery also needs to ensure the safety of workers and employees. Machinery processes pork more accurately and more productively. A highlight of Japanese pork processing technology is the ability to control the entire cold chain, from cold storage at factories, transport vehicles to supermarkets, and finally to customers' home freezers. Not only does it prolong the freshness of the meat, but it also extends the shelf life of each tray of products. Pork is cheaper than beef and easier to prepare than chicken, making it a popular choice. Fast food chains also have a wide selection of ready-to-eat pork dishes. The Japanese love pork, which is the most common meat in daily life. The pork processing industry is not only important economically but also a part of Japan's culinary culture, technology, and exports. In addition to fresh meat production, Japanese processed meat products such as sausages, cold cuts, smoked pork, etc. are very popular in Southeast Asia, the US, and the EU. Regions such as Kagoshima, Okinawa, and Hokkaido also develop local meat brands to attract culinary tourism. How can you start farming with low costs while ensuring stable, sustainable income over time? Amid rising feed prices and fluctuating markets, more and more farmers are innovating their approaches. The key is combining small-scale models to achieve significant results. In today's video, we'll explore how the integrated goat and chicken farming model is helping a new generation of farmers not only optimize costs but also enhance farming efficiency and maintain steady income during turbulent times. The integrated goat and chicken farming model is a highly effective two-tier farming solution that optimizes space, reduces costs, and significantly boosts profits. Goats are raised in elevated pens, while chickens are free-ranged on the ground, maximizing vertical space utilization. This approach is not only space-efficient but also offers flexibility and smart resource use, making it particularly suitable for farmers seeking efficiency and sustainability in today's challenging context. The integrated goat and chicken farming method offers numerous practical benefits, from optimizing space and reducing odors to minimizing market risks when one of the two income sources fluctuates. All of these contribute to building a sustainable, stable, and easily manageable farming system. Moreover, managing both species in the same area significantly saves time and effort. Farmers can schedule feeding, health checks, and cleaning, all streamlined into a single morning routine. The process is seamless, simple to execute, and yields double the efficiency. From just one model, farmers can harvest multiple products: chicken eggs, poultry meat, breeding goats, goat meat, and fresh goat milk, a highly diverse profit combo. When egg prices drop, farmers can shift to selling milk or capitalize on peak demand for goat meat. This cash flow flexibility is a standout advantage of this model. To ensure the integrated goat and chicken farming model truly delivers results, farmers need to master several key techniques. Ventilated and easy-to-clean coop design. Goat pens should be elevated with slatted floors to allow manure to fall through. Below, chickens roam freely on a layer of rice husks or sawdust, which absorbs moisture and naturally reduces odors. Separate diets for each species. Goats require ample green roughage and supplementary feed. While chickens need a diet rich in protein and carbohydrates. It's critical to prevent the two species from eating each other's food to avoid competition and digestive issues. Disease prevention and environmental hygiene. Although the chicken area is beneath the goat pens, it must be thoroughly cleaned and disinfected weekly to prevent diseases and maintain a clean, safe living environment for both species. Complete vaccination schedule. Chickens need vaccines for diseases like Marex, Gumboro, and Newcastle. Goats require vaccinations against foot and mouth disease, pasteurellosis, and more. Detailed record keeping helps track animal health and ensures no critical vaccinations are missed. The integrated goat and chicken farming model is not just about optimizing costs and space, it's a refined blend of traditional experience and modern farming innovation, a practical and pride-worthy approach to agriculture. With a modest initial investment, and by organizing and innovating wisely, the new generation of farmers can start small, generate quick profits, and scale up as needed. This model also lays the foundation for circular agriculture systems, such as raising earthworms, producing organic fertilizer, or growing clean vegetables right in the backyard, a small but highly potential ecosystem. We are witnessing a massive vessel setting out to sea in Japan, clearly not an ordinary fishing boat, especially given its haul of nearly 10 tons of marine catch. That's right, it's a specialized whaling ship, designed specifically to harvest fin whales weighing up to 70 tons and capable of storing up to 700 tons of whale meat at once. Each voyage allows the vessel to operate at sea for extended periods, catching and processing giant whales directly on board. So right now, let's explore how Japanese fishermen process these massive whales right out on the open sea. these giant whales, Japanese fishermen need to use large vessels weighing over 8,000 tons, staffed by dozens of crew members responsible for locating, capturing, and processing the whales. These ships can operate more than 13,000 kilometers across the ocean over several months. The Japanese refer to the main vessel as the mother ship, which carries out the core operations, supported by smaller whaling boats that assist in the hunt. Out on the vast ocean, the mother ship locates whale pods using sonar or GPS technology, with visual confirmation provided by the experienced crew. The sailors use harpoons equipped with explosives to subdue or kill the whales instantly. Hunters aim for vital areas like the chest to ensure a swift death and minimize suffering. Once a whale has been caught, it is hauled onto the mother ship, where it is processed directly at sea. After being hauled aboard the mother ship, the crew begins the whale meat processing procedure. First, the thick outer layer of blubber and skin is removed using large knives and heavy machinery. The whale's body is then cut into sections to make it easier to handle. These meat sections are moved along conveyor belts, preparing them for the next stages of processing. The meat is sliced into smaller portions, immediately packaged and flash frozen to preserve freshness during the entire voyage. Higher quality cuts are typically reserved for premium markets or export. The whale blubber is processed into oil, which is often used for industrial purposes. Processing the whale directly on board not only reduces transport volume but also makes preservation more efficient. Whale bones are usually ground down or discarded after the meat is removed, and most internal organs are thrown back into the ocean to feed marine life, saving time on waste handling compared to land-based processing plants. When the whaling vessels accumulate between 300 to 500 tons of whale meat, they return to port to supply whale products to major supermarkets and stores. For a long time, whale hunting has faced global criticism, as it is considered inhumane and cruel, especially since whales are protected species around the world. In fact, since 1982, the International Whaling Commission has implemented a ban on commercial whaling. However, Japan has opposed this ban and continues to carry out annual whale hunts. So why does Japan still hunt whales despite the international ban? Currently, the Japanese government maintains that whaling in Japan is a part of the country's cultural tradition. Since the 17th century, the Japanese have developed whaling techniques. Beyond the main purpose of using whale meat as food, the Japanese also used whale blubber to produce oil for lighting and soap, and processed whale organs into fertilizer. By 1945, after the end of World War II, Japan faced a severe food crisis. At that time, whale meat became a crucial food source that helped save millions of Japanese people from starvation. A single giant whale could provide tens of tons of meat, making it one of the most heavily hunted species during that period. Although over 90% of Japanese people today say they rarely eat whale meat and many younger generations have never tasted it at all, the country's whaling output has significantly declined compared to the past. Despite growing opposition to Japan's whaling industry and international calls for a complete ban, conservative voices still argue that whaling is a long-standing cultural tradition that should be preserved. Moreover, the Japanese government often claims that their whaling activities are primarily for scientific research. But regardless of the stated purpose, Japan's continued whale hunts are pushing the populations of these giant marine mammals closer to extinction. Beluga whales have long been considered one of the world's rarest marine species, admired for their distinctive beauty. They are highly intelligent and are often thought to be the whale species most closely connected to humans. Yet, this rare and majestic creature also serves as a vital food source for indigenous communities across Canada and the Arctic. Every year, hundreds of belugas are hunted primarily using traditional methods as part of the effort to sustain local livelihoods. So today, let's explore how Alaskan hunters carry out the time-honored practice of capturing beluga whales. In the icy reaches of the far north, where the sun disappears for months at a time and the landscape is buried under snow and ice, the Inuit people, indigenous groups living across Canada, Greenland, and Alaska, have survived for centuries by living in harmony with the harsh environment. In their cultural heritage, hunting belugas is not just a means of survival, but also a sacred ritual. Each summer, as the ice begins to melt, pods of beluga whales swim upriver to spawn. This is the moment when the Inuit prepare for what they consider a sacred journey, the traditional beluga whale hunt. Before setting out, the entire community takes part in preparations. Elder men share their knowledge with the younger generation, from reading water currents and identifying the whale's direction of movement, to mastering the use of harpoons and navigating boats. The women prepare waterproof clothing, preserve food, and set up areas for butchering and processing the whale meat. The hunt is never taken lightly. The Inuit believe that the beluga is a spirit of the ocean, and that only through respect and humility will nature offer its gift. The journey often begins with ancient songs, prayers to the wind, and ceremonies calling upon ancestral spirits for guidance and protection. The tools of the hunt typically include motorboats or engine-powered canoes, allowing for safer travel across the cold, ice-covered waters. However, even with motorized transport, indigenous hunters are only allowed to harvest belugas using traditional methods, specifically with harpoons. These tools are often crafted from bone and stone, and nowadays combined with modern materials like metal. In some regions, communities still uphold the old tradition of forbidding engines altogether out of respect for the spirit of the ocean. There, hunters paddle their boats by hand, carefully weaving through drifting ice, just as their ancestors once did. The beluga whale hunting season typically takes place between June and August. When rivers like the Mackenzie in Canada or the waters around Point Hope in Alaska begin to thaw, massive pods of beluga whales start their migration, creating striking silver-white waves across the deep blue sea. The Inuit often set up ambush points near river mouths, where the narrowed water flow makes it easier to approach the whales. Upon spotting a pod, the hunters don't rush. Instead, they paddle quietly, observing the sea, reading the wind, and watching every subtle movement of the whales. Each strike is carefully calculated. A harpoon must be thrown with precision, aimed at the whale's head or gill area to ensure a swift and humane death. This minimizes suffering for the whale and reduces the risk for the hunters, who operate in close proximity to the powerful animals. When a beluga is successfully caught, it's towed back to shore using human strength in small boats connected by ropes. The entire community comes out to greet the returning hunters. Cheers erupt, Inuit drums beat, and traditional songs fill the air, all as a way to thank the spirits and honor the ocean's gift. Each beluga whale can weigh anywhere from 500 to 1,500 kilograms, and every part of the animal is used to its fullest. The meat is divided among families, with priority given to elders and young children. The whale oil is used for cooking, lighting, and traditional medicine. Even the remaining parts that aren't consumed by people are often used as dog food. Nothing goes to waste. In the small northern villages where winters are long and food is scarce, a single beluga whale can sustain an entire community for weeks. Moreover, beluga whale meat is highly nutritious, rich in protein, fat, and packed with energy essential for the Inuit during the harsh Arctic winters, where temperatures can plunge as low as -40 degrees Celsius. In contrast, imported packaged foods are often expensive, difficult to store, and lack the same nutritional value as whale meat. That's why many Inuit believe that eating muktuk and meat beluga whale helps their bodies adapt better to the Arctic climate, something industrial foods simply can't offer. In addition to hunting beluga whales, the Inuit also hunt other whale species such as gray whales and bowhead whales for food. Each year, they harvest dozens of whales to meet the dietary needs of their communities. These hunts are sustenance-based, not commercial, aimed at preserving a way of life rather than generating profit. Have you ever seen a fish that looks as ugly as this one? At first glance, it looks like a giant toadfish with a head many times larger than its tail. In Vietnam, this species is almost never seen, as it lives deep on the ocean floor and in cold water regions. But in Japan, there's even a traditional festival dedicated to demonstrating how monkfish are prepared. So today, join us as we explore one of the ugliest fish in the ocean and see how Japanese fishermen catch and process them. Monkfish typically live at depths ranging from 600 to 200 meters. Japanese fishermen believe that monkfish from the cold northern waters of the Sea of Japan have the firmest texture and the best flavor. Although they are caught in various regions, the peak season usually runs from late autumn around November through early spring. Currently, Aomori Prefecture has the highest monkfish catch volume in Japan. Most Japanese fishermen catch monkfish using bottom trawl nets, bottom set gill nets, and scallop dredge nets. These types of gear not only effectively catch monkfish but also harvest other bottom-dwelling species such as flounder. In Casamora village, fixed gill nets are considered the standard method for catching monkfish. Because the village is located near key fishing grounds just 2 to 3 kilometers from the port and with depths reaching 70 meters, it's possible to catch a large number of monkfish. Nets are set along the known pathways of the fish, typically 4 to 5 kilometers offshore, and monkfish that get caught are later hauled aboard. In this village, monkfish are caught on the same day the nets are deployed, allowing fresh fish products to be supplied to meet local consumption demand. Fishermen use hydraulic winches to pull the nets onto the boat and remove the fish. The catch is sorted and preserved on board to maintain freshness before being transported back to port. In addition to net fishing, Japanese fishermen also harvest monkfish using long lines. This is considered a traditional method that has been practiced in Japan for over 100 years. Fishermen use a 100-meter long line equipped with hooks, which is lowered to the seafloor and left in place while they wait for fish to bite. Since monkfish do not actively chase bait, fishermen use hooks rather than bait to catch them. After being brought back to port, monkfish are typically sold and consumed on the same day to preserve their freshness. They are mainly prepared in restaurants or seafood markets, where consumers can choose how they'd like them served. Only experienced chefs are usually able to handle monkfish with ease, because their slimy skin makes them impossible to process like ordinary fish. Chefs need to hang the fish on a hook and use sharp tools to separate the skin and internal organs. Almost every part of the monkfish can be used for cooking except for the eyes. After processing, each part is separated and prepared for the next steps in cooking. Although monkfish may appear unattractive, it is still considered a premium fish and is highly valued by the Japanese for its flavor, texture, and versatility. Its meat is light and tender, and while the skin may not look appealing, it is rich in collagen. Many Japanese people say that monkfish meat is soft and sweet, similar to lobster tail, which is why it's so popular and has even become part of a unique culinary tradition. In the village of Kazumura in Aomori Prefecture, monkfish are processed using an upside-down hanging method, a practice regarded as a local tradition. Perhaps because of its strong cultural ties to the region, monkfish caught here are sold under the name Kazumura Anku, which means monkfish from Kazumura village. Also due to local traditions, from December to March each year, the entire village gathers to take part in the Anku festival. This is a special time of year when villagers perform the traditional monkfish cutting ritual right on the snow. After that, the fresh fish is prepared and cooked into a complete, exquisite meal served only during the festival. No part of the monkfish goes to waste. Its meat is used in a variety of dishes, including hot pots, sashimi, and miso-marinated liver. The liver of this fish is often referred to as the foie gras of the sea for its incredibly rich flavor,